everybody, and welcome to the 2017 Think Differently programme that's now available online through iLearn. I'm here today with Dave Halliday, and he's going to talk about management and leadership styles, which is a topic that will be available on his page for you to view and to complete tasks on. So welcome, Dave.
Hi Ash, how are you? Hi everyone.
What I want to ask you, Dave, is first of all is a couple of questions around management and leadership styles, if you don't mind sharing. But what are mostly that you are looking for in your management group moving forward, please?
Okay, well, I know my my area is purely about management and chiefly the ops group, but I think I look for the same qualities in everyone, whether you're a manager or it's the first day in a job. I think there's three main qualities I look for. First one is passion. You've got to have a real passion for yourself, to drive your knowledge, for your customers, to give them a better service and to make things better. I think that's key. The second thing is probably knowledge. I think if you're strong in your knowledge retention, your desire to get better and learn more products and more ability, I think you provide a better service to your customer, and obviously it's much more efficient for CS as well. And the third thing is probably talent. You know, I think we recruit really well and we recruit talented people in, and if you've got someone with talent, passion and knowledge, you can move mountains, which is probably what we've seen over the last few years. And I think to encapsulate all that, the most important thing is all those three feed into the fact that they care for the customer. They've got a burning desire to help that customer, to make that customer's journey easier, to solve that customer's problem accurately first time, and to really keep that customer and nurture that customer through to renewal.
Thank you, Dave. Okay, so the next question is, what would you like to see more of from not only the management group but also staff members within CS, please?
Yeah, same sort of thing again. I don't see any difference between whether you're a manager or not. We've all got the same, one share price and same care. So I think no one can ever be close enough to the customer. So whether that's taking calls, listening to calls, reading emails, looking at social media, I always think we can still be closer to the customer and make their journey easier and their stay with Admiral more pleasant. I think as a department, I think we need to keep not accepting the norm. So whether that's red tape or the way things have been done for 20 years in Admiral, I think it's incumbent on people at CS to try and tweak that and change that and make it better. I think we've always got to be innovative. Sometimes I think we churn the same sort of ideas, whether that's about engagement or for customers. And I think the real ideas that stand out are people who push the boundaries of innovation.
Excellent, thank you, Dave. So what advice would you give to either the management group or to staff members on what to focus on in 2017 to really push themselves forward?
I really don't think it's rocket science. I don't think the message ever changes. If we continually focus on our customer and staff, we're not going to go far wrong. I think once we start veering towards, trying and keep our staff far too happy by keeping them off the phone, that affects our customer, and is not what we're trying to do. But I think if we concentrate too much on our customer and talk time and driving metrics that way, I don't think that's great for our staff. So it's sort of getting that golden balance between keeping your staff happy, motivated, development and feeling part of the team, as well as conducive to that, making sure our our customers are getting the best service ever from really trained, motivated, passionate staff.
Excellent, thank you, Dave. So can you give me three of your best management lessons or lessons within work that you can pass on to the group, please?
Yeah, they're not particularly scientific, they're just sort of credos I live by. I always make sure I ask why, and I think everyone in CS should do the same. Rather than just taking things at face value, ask the second question, why is that? Or why does that happen? Or why does that always happen? Or what's the benefit of that? Because I think that's a good discipline and it keeps people on their toes and it keeps changing the status quo. I think everyone can learn a lesson from saying sorry or not. What I'm getting at that is as you sort of progress upwards, it's sort of an ego thing. We feel you can't say sorry, or almost you're paid never to be wrong. And I think it's really important to realize that 9 times out of 10 I am wrong and I do need to say sorry. I think it's really important you remember that human side. And the last one is probably fairly similar. Don't let it go to your head. I think sometimes we are guilty of forgetting that people on the phone take 60-70 calls a day. They work tough shifts. and it's relatively easy sitting here at a nice big desk not taking calls. And I think it's important that managers and staff in all of Admiral don't forget that, because the people on the phone are the people that keep me in a job, and I think if we forget that, we're in trouble.
Excellent, thank you, Dave. Okay, so from your own point of view, who has influenced you the most in forming your own leadership style, and how can others emulate this?
Well, I'm lucky because I've worked with great people in Admiral. I've been here 20 years and worked with great people, so I had a great apprenticeship and still learn every single day. I know that sounds a bit of a cliche, but I do look in meetings how people conduct themselves, and I take the good and the bad. And I think over my career, probably Brian Martin, who I worked with for 15 years in new business, learned loads of him, how to conduct yourself, the side of MI, how to manage a large scale, how to build a strong culture. I think as well, in my time in CS, I've learned loads of Chris Price in terms of even bigger scale, because it's a different role, much more on the budgeting and the cost side of things, and working out how the whole thing knits together. For example, how CS impact renewal and new business. So I've learned loads of both of those too, and they've been a great help. Obviously my father as well, who's one of my best friends, and I get on really well with him, and he was a manager, so we sort of, how can I put this, brings me back down to reality a bit, which is great.
Dave, we all know that your personality allows you to interact with all of the staff members. We always see you walking around interacting and asking people questions about their lifestyle or their social circle, those types of things.
Yeah.
So is there anything that you do specifically for your management group that others could emulate, or they could take some inspiration from as to what you do for personal touches?
Oh dear. Well, I've had to apologise to two this week for being nasty to them, so apologies to those two if they're watching this. But I think there's a couple of things. It's really important. The ops team are brilliant. We don't have department managers in CS, so they are total responsibility for their sites, which it gives pressure, and it's a wide spectrum of work they've got to cover. So I think it's really important to try and keep them engaged. I'm not always great at it, but I try my best. I think there's a few things. This Christmas we sent a letter to their partners rather than to them, and the letter basically said, I'm really sorry for taking them away from work 12 hours a day and keeping them on email 7 days a week, and we need to recognise that. So we sent them, I think we sent them like night in a hotel and some food vouchers for a nice meal as well, just to say sorry for all the hard work they do and keeping them away from the home and their families, but also how much is appreciated and what a great job they do. We have a couple of away days a year, possibly but I think I hope they feel valued, and we try and do some personal touches because they do a fantastic job, and I don't always say that, and I should do more.
Excellent. So just one more question that I want to get out of you, Dave, if that's okay.
Yep.
Okay, so what I want to know is if you were tasked with going back to managing a team,
Yep,
or going back to a team yourself, and you had to start again with everything you know right now.
Yep.
For the first month, what are the type of things you can focus on and our staff can focus on to really get the best and draw as much knowledge up in that time?
That's a great question, Ash. I almost wish we prepared that one. That's a good one. You haven't told me that one. It's a great one. Great question. I think you always learn, and I think like everyone does, when you become a TM you think you're brilliant. I thought it was absolutely brilliant, and looking back, a few things I would have changed in the first month. I think I would have set my standards out with the team. I think it's very difficult becoming a CCR, an SCR, and a team management, and having that almost gap or that division between you and the team. And I don't mean in a hierarchical way. What I mean is you tend to be their best mate, and then suddenly you've got to be the manager, which is really tough step up, and I think probably underplayed in management and in Admiral. So I think looking back, I'd probably explain my standards and my line in the sand and what I expected from them very clearly. I'd also have a very clear team objective, because I think sometimes there's so many teams that you can get lost in the mire, and I think it's really important that your team know what their clear goal, clear objective and clear path to hitting that is. So basically in conclusion, I talk about standards, goals, and most important, I'd explain what I'm going to do for them. I think it's very easy to say do this, do that, but I think I'd explain what I'm going to do to them. So it'll be things like support, development, and listen to the customer much more, and create an environment where we want to be the best team in that department.
Thank you, Dave, and I really appreciate you talking openly to us today. With regards to Dave's page now, you will now be able to get content on videos, articles, and a task that Dave wants you to complete moving forward as well. So thank you very much for your time today, Dave.
Thanks,
and we
Ash,
appreciate you talking to us.
Thank you very much. See you, everyone. Bye.